This cluckin nightmare was sent to us by someone who says their family was torn apart by a cursed object handed down through generations. A music box. Beautiful, delicate, and absolutely evil. If you've got a chicken heart, you might want to skip this one. But if you're ready to roost with the restless, let's wind up this horror show. Hi, you can call me Harper. This story happened 2 years ago, and even now, I hesitate to talk about it. I've changed names and some small details, not to protect myself, but because I'm still not sure if the people involved are themselves anymore. This story starts with a music box, a small, hand-carved wooden heirloom that's been passed down through the women in my family for over a century. It ends with madness. My grandmother Eleanor passed away in early 2022. She was 91, sharp as a knife until the end, but toward the final months, she started slipping. She'd hum to herself constantly, not any old tune, just this one eerie, almost hypnotic melody that I'd never heard before. We thought maybe it was a childhood lullaby, something forgotten by time. But it wasn't forgotten. Not at all. When she died, it fell to my mom, my Aunt Liz, and me to clean out her home. It was this old farmhouse on the edge of a crumbling rural town in upstate New York. The kind of place where the wallpaper peels and the floors creak even when no one's walking on them. We found the music box in a trunk at the back of a cedar closet in the attic. It was wrapped in a rotting lace cloth and tied with what looked like human hair. But I told myself it was just twine. It was beautiful, though. A polished walnut box, with birds and vines carved into its sides. Inside was a silver ballerina, standing mid-spin. A winding key in the back. No label. No maker's mark. Just one word burned into the inside of the lid in spidery script. Clemens. I wound it. Of course I did. The melody was strange, dissonant, like it almost made sense, but something about it felt off, not just sad, dangerous. My mom yanked it out of my hands immediately. I'd never seen her look that scared in my life. She told me to never touch it again. She wrapped it back up and shoved it into her purse like it might bite. That night, I heard the song again, playing softly through the vents, through the walls. I went looking for it, thinking my mom had maybe changed her mind. Maybe she'd taken it out again. I found her in her guest room, sitting upright in bed, staring at the corner. Not at the music box. At something I couldn't see. She was humming the melody. Her eyes weren't blinking. We returned home a few days later and brought some of Eleanor's things with us. I wasn't even thinking about the music box at that point until I found it on my bedroom dresser. I didn't put it there. My mom swore she didn't either. I asked if I could keep it jokingly. She turned pale and said, "Harper, that thing is not a toy. That box ruined our family, and it's going to ruin you too, if you let it." I should have listened, but curiosity is stronger than fear. At first, that night, I dreamed of a woman standing in my hallway. She was wearing a filthy white gown, soaked around the hem with mud and blood. Her veil was torn. Her arms were outstretched like she was balancing on a wire, and she was dancing. Jerky, unnatural pirouettes, her head lolling back like her neck was broken. In the dream, I followed the sound of the music to the top of the stairs. The woman was dancing in midair, spinning slowly above the ground, her feet never touching it, her eyes never blinking. When I woke up, I had mud on my sheets. Real mud. From where? And worse, my feet were aching, like I'd been standing for hours. Things started happening during the day, too. The box moved on its own. I'd place it on a shelf, and it would turn to face me. The ballerina would start spinning without being wound up. The music would come from odd corners of the house. Even after I'd removed the winding key, I locked it in a drawer. I nailed the drawer shut. It played anyway. I started recording myself at night. On the third night, at exactly 3:13 a.m., the camera caught me getting out of bed. Eyes open, silent. I walked to the dresser, opened the nailed drawer like it was unlocked, took out the music box, and began to dance. Slow turns, arms out. The worst part? I was smiling. I started having visions during the day, reflections of the ballerina in windows where there were no mirrors, whispers in a woman's voice speaking a language I couldn't understand. I started drawing her face in my notebooks during class, always the same. Sunken eyes, stitched mouth, veil dripping like wet silk. One day, I came home and found my mom in the basement. She was crying and burning old photos. Photos of her mother, her grandmother, and so on. When I asked what she was doing, she said, "I can't be the one to tell you. You have to find it for yourself." Then she handed me a key. It unlocked a chest in the attic. Inside were journals, dozens of them, written by the women in my family, each one detailing their experiences with the music box. All eerily similar. Dreams, hallucinations, sleepwalking, loss of time, and all of them ended their final entry the same way. She wants out. One entry from 1904 described the box as a prison for a woman named Clemence, a French dancer accused of witchcraft in the 1700s. According to the journal, she had cursed the music she danced to, claiming it would never stop playing until another took her place. She was executed, but her soul was bound to the box, to the song, to us. The ballerina wasn't just a decoration. It was her. It is her. And she's tired of dancing alone. My Aunt Liz died last year. She threw herself off her roof during a thunderstorm. Witnesses said she was dancing when she jumped. The song was playing from the attic. My mother, she's in a facility. She stopped speaking entirely. They say she just hums to herself in the corner of her room. Every day, the same melody. And me? The music box won't leave me. I've thrown it in rivers, buried it in salt, burned it to ash. Every time, it comes back. And now I can feel it inside me, winding, slowly. Every time I sleep, I wake up closer to the stairs. One night soon, I won't stop at the top. I'll dance right off the edge, just like the others, because the song never ends. It just needs a new dancer. Some heirlooms carry memories. Some carry ghosts. And some, they carry an ancient hunger that won't stop until you've danced yourself into the grave. If your family passes down a music box, maybe let it stay silent. And if it doesn't, run, cluck, and roll. Until next time, stay spooky, stay safe, and whatever you do,